Hey people, it's your man D-Car. It's been a long time since I've done a video. I guess to start this new year off the right way, might as well go with everybody's talking about right now, Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. Everybody is making their opinions and giving their opinions about this and that and the other, but I'm gonna give you context. I'm gonna give you what everybody else is not giving you. And I'm gonna tell you exactly like this. Everybody, including myself, is complicit in this foolishness. And I'll tell you why we're all complicit in this foolishness. In November 22nd, 1991, R. Kelly dropped his first professional single with Public Announcement. It was R. Kelly and Public Announcement, and the title of the single was She's Got That Vibe. At the end of that record, now, R. Kelly and Public Announcement had been on whatever that show Natalie Cole had on, Putting on the Hits or something. I know it used to come on Saturday nights. I can't remember the title of it right now, but it used to come on Saturday nights. All right, so now, when he won that, Barry Hankerson became his manager. Now, for those who don't know, Barry Hankerson used to be married to Gladys Knight of Gladys Knight and the Pips. And they divorced one another in the 70s or whatever the case may be. But, that was her ex-husband. And, he had ins and outs in the music business or whatever the case may be. And he had a niece named Aaliyah. All right. Now, R. Kelly gave you some indication that he was a little weird, but nobody really thought anything about it. If you listen to the song She's Got That Vibe, at the end of the song, R. Kelly starts rattling off names about women who have that vibe. And at one point, he says, even little cute Aaliyah's got it. And I'm like, well, who is cute, little Aaliyah? And why does this little girl have that vibe? He was telling you then in 1991 that, he had certain issues. Now, let's keep in mind, if you watch that Surviving R. Kelly documentary, for those who don't know, R. Kelly dropped out of high school in his senior year. So that would mean he dropped out of high school in 1985. He didn't start recording professionally until 1991. Now, people around him in that docuseries said my man was going to high schools recruiting girls. So he was going to look at little high school girls when he was 22 years old. He had to be at least 22, 23 when he was doing this, because it took the whole year 1991 to record his album. So even still, that means he was 24 years old at that point. All right, now I said everybody is complicit. Now, he had a team of people around him. And like I said, Aaliyah was Barry Hankerson's niece. So he, in essence, introduced her to him, had to be when she was 11 years old. She didn't put her debut album out, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number, until 1994. And at the time, she had to be about 14 years old. So now, there's a pattern here. But, he has a team of people. And a couple of people, even his brother, that weirdo that's in jail, he said, well, he doesn't see anything wrong with that. I'm like, okay, fine. That's why he in jail. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's just crazy. But he doesn't see anything wrong with that. All right, fine. So now, in 1994, she puts out Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. If you listen to the structure of the album and the songs and everything, he was molding her after himself. And I say that to say that if you listen to those songs, she was singing the songs exactly like he would have sung the songs if he, had written them for himself, And then he wouldn't let her do any interviews or any print magazine interviews or any, live interviews or whatever, unless he was right there. And when he was there, what was the whole thing? They were dressed alike. Come on, man. I'm like, at this point, 1994, R. Kelly got to be about 27 years old. You know what I'm saying? So it's like nobody didn't think of this as peculiar or whatever the case may be. Nobody looked at this as, you know. Then let's look at the 12 play album. Let's look at the 12 play album. Now, 12 play album came out in 93, but he did remixes. What business did she have singing on the Your Body's Calling a remix? All right? I'm like, and I get, well, Aaliyah's not here. Her father's not here, no longer here. And I get you trying to protect somebody's legacy, but come on. The mother was complicit. Father was complicit. Because everybody knew something was going. As a parent, even if you didn't think he was sleeping with it, you didn't think it was strange that this grown man and this teenage girl are dressing alike, like they high schoolers, boyfriend and girlfriend. That just didn't look weird to you. It wasn't weird to you that, this dude was spending a lot of time with your daughter. It just didn't bother. And then the following year, in 95, Vibe produces the marriage certificate where she clearly lied about her age, and they went and got married. Nobody, when I say everybody is complicit, I mean Vibe magazine, Source magazine. And me at the time, I knew I was trying to get in the business. So I'm on a perimeter. So just based on me trying to get in the business and get a deal at the time and knowing the things that I know, you mean to tell me people that was already in the business around his circle, in his inner camp, didn't see these things? And I could tell from the first time I saw, I can't remember what it was, but I knew right, it was something. What was that video that they shot together from her album in black and white? I knew right then and there when I saw that video. It was either At Your Best or the song that she did over I think with one of the Isley Brothers joints or whatever, or it had the interpolation or whatever. I knew right then and there he was sleeping with her. But what happened? Everybody gave him a pass. Everybody gave him a pass. Even after they saw the marriage certificate, they gave him a pass. It's like, I bet. You know what I'm saying? I've said, you know what? Because at that point, then he put out the R album. And that had, You Remind Me of My Jeep, the Down Low and all that. And it was like, and at that time, it was like he started messing around with Kirk Franklin. I think he was going to church or whatever and supposedly got saved or whatever, because I remember a video. It's him and Kirk Franklin on stage, and Kirk Franklin, somebody was praying for him or whatever, So everybody gave him a pass with Aaliyah. Everybody. And if I'm correct, I think he paid Aaliyah $100,000 or whatever, or he either paid it to the family, and then after that, that's when she started in 96. That's when 95 going into 96, right before she put out that album. She started working with Timbaland and Missy, or whatever the case may be. And another thing, and I don't want to be disrespectful, but Aaliyah was a pretty girl. But I don't know why all these grown men was so caught up with Aaliyah, because Aaliyah had the body of a 13-year-old little boy. She was pretty faced, but she didn't have no shape or structure at all. But all these grown men was crazy about Aaliyah. It just boggles my mind. It just boggles my mind. But the whole purpose of me making this video, because R. Kelly was tampered with, and he went on to tamper with people. And it's a shame that because he never got help for what happened to him, he went on to be a monster, because all these people are not lying. It's a shame that Bill Cosby, and I'm not condoning anything that Bill Cosby did, because Bill Cosby was off the hook too. But Bill Cosby is in jail right now for a woman he paid off, I believe, in 2004. He paid her. And now he in jail. And they want him to do 10 years. They want him to do 10 years. But R. Kelly was on tape urinating and having sexual relations with a 14-year-old. But even then, you can't really get, because if she didn't come through and say X, Y, and Z happened and they got paid off, and it might not have been a lot of money, but every album after that situation, her father has played guitar on his songs on R. Kelly's albums. And based on Sparkle's own admission, these people are still in contact and dealing with R. Kelly to this day. But the thing that caused me to make this video, forget it, R. Kelly, people gonna take sides or whatever the case may be. I stopped being a fan of R. Kelly after the R album, so that was the double album. Haven't bought an album since then. Haven't liked them since then. And once the allegations came out about the tape, he was definitely dead on my line. I can't listen to those songs the same way that I did in 91 or 92, 93, 95, 98. I can't listen to those songs the same way because you have to look at it like, yo, was he talking about little girls? But my beef is with Dame Dash. That's my problem. This dude is all over the internet now. He did a video and this and that and the other, and with this guy that he usually does videos with. And then he has a sit down video with Nick Cannon the full video is supposed to be released soon. And he's talking about how he wasn't messing with that dude and his, he didn't have nothing to do with R. Kelly and blah 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 blah. If I remember correctly, and maybe I'm wrong, but Aaliyah died or passed away in 2001. And if I remember correctly, now let me look, because I want to be accurate when I look at this. I want to say that Fiesta, I want to say that came out in 2000, right? Let's see. There you go. So now I don't know the timeline of when Aaliyah and Dame Dash started dating. Because see, initially I didn't know who she was dating. I didn't know if she was dating Jay or she was dating this dude. But then eventually it was Dame. All right. If I remember correctly, Aaliyah passed away in August of 2001. And I want to say she passed away a week or 2 weeks after I came back from the Dominican Republic. All right. And this TP2.com, it came out in 2000. And I believe the the fourth single was the Fiesta record. And Dame is in the video, but Dame will have you believe he wasn't in the video. And your reasoning is stupid. Not only is it stupid, it's ignorant. You should never even open your mouth. Because you think because in the scenes that you're in, you're with your Rockefeller family, that you're not in the video or you're not next to him. You don't have to be standing next to him to support him. In essence, that's what you did. Not only did you support your artist, but you supported him because your artist was on his record. So you supported him. And like I said, this is 2000. By the time I think that single was released, it was 2001. You clearly in the video, shaking up bottles and dancing with girls. So you can't say, oh, my girl, he raped my girl. Yeah, he violated your girl. He played some mind trick and manipulated her to do whatever it is they did. I don't care if they slept together. It's a sad state of affairs either which way. But the point is, you running around. Dame, you was a culture vulture too. I'm like, and all you dudes from my generation who made mad money. You made a lot of money off ignorance. Y'all dudes was sitting there. I bet, and as much power as you think you had, you still didn't have no power. I'm like, because everything out your mouth was either nigga or bitch. You was doing, I'm like, yo, we're getting checks all in the sake of saying, well, we own we own this and we're putting out what we want. Yeah, but it was still all ignorant. You promoted drug culture, and the music might have been dope. Like, cause if we're gonna talk about, let's talk about it all. Everybody's complicit, but you are going mad hard about this culture vulture thing, and you should have had that same energy because you knew, because you was in the business. So you knew of and you knew things, you heard things, whether you saw it or not. You shouldn't even, if since you wasn't standing next to that man, you shouldn't have been in the video at all. Then you go on to claim about, well, you didn't support the Best of Both World project and this and that. You'd already given your support, dude. You was in his first video, that Fiesta video, so it didn't matter whether you were in any more subsequent videos or anything like that. You'd already given your support, and you know what I'm saying, you knew. And the same energy you have about Leo Cohen right now, you should have had that same energy about R. Kelly then. Everybody should. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like I always say, black lives don't matter. You know what I'm saying? That's why we can get killed until, Tariq is held accountable for killing, I don't know, Shabazz over a pair of Jordans. Then how we gonna get, and don't say, well, people will say, well, that's different. It's not different. That's just stupid. That's just like saying, well, I'd rather have the black man robbing me instead of the white man. How about I don't want no man robbing me? How about that? How about I get what I'm owed and I'm treated fairly? How about that? So stop with all this craziness about you didn't support that and you wasn't standing next, because just because you didn't stand next to a man in his own video, you were still in his video. And I'm quite sure that you and that guy had some conversation during the course of that whole video shoot. You sound stupid, as smart as you want to think you are. And I really, really wish the truth would come out about Rockefeller and why it really broke up. You trying to make it seem like it broke up because of Aaliyah, or, he didn't want Biggs to be involved no more, whatever the case may be. But based on what I understand and what I've heard, the only reason Rockefeller broke up, or the icing on the cake, was because Jay wanted the masters to his first album. He wanted the Reasonable Doubt. He wanted the masters to Reasonable Doubt, and you and Biggs. And I believe I heard Biggs say something about that while, since he'd been out of jail. He did a video with Vlad or somebody, and it was like that. I believe it might have been several issues, but that was the icing on the cake. My understanding is he said y'all can have all the masters to the other albums, but he wanted the masters to Reasonable Doubt. And if I'm correct, in the video that I saw, Biggs was like, no, we all, that's all our baby right there, But my thing is, you should have given it to him, because you see what Jay ended up doing. Biggs ended up going to jail for selling weed. You know what I'm saying? You, as much as you direct the narrative that you don't want to have nothing to do with the music business and this and that and other, and that very well might be true, but I seem to remember a young man, he had this show on BET, and I can't remember it, but the name of it, but it had something to do with, he was a cakeaholic. Him and his men's was cakeaholics. And that was Dame Dash's show. And nobody that was on that show, because Clark Kent was one of the mentors on the show, nobody on that show did anything in terms of selling records. And I think this was the Dame Dash Music Group or something, whatever. Dame, you failed at the music business because by this time, you had burned mad bridges. And when I say you burned mad bridges, you was mad disrespectful. Yeah, you went hard for your artists, but you were mad disrespectful. You burned a lot of bridges, and then nobody want to deal with you no more. And you might be correct in saying that Leo was in Jay-Z's ear and they was maneuvering behind your back. But by the time you had that blow up at the Def Jam offices, you was already out the door. You just didn't know it. You just didn't know. You was already done. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, but you, my friend, are too a culture vulture. Leo Cohen is a culture vulture. Jay-Z is a culture vulture. Any and everybody who profited from the suffering, you know, of our people is a culture vulture. It's like, yo, we the only people in the world can make records and disparage one another. And the Jewish man who runs the entertainment, and contrary to popular belief, and this is not anti-Semitic talk, this is real talk. The white man slash, in most cases, Jewish man runs the music business. When rap was a fad, they wasn't giving out money like that. But until when they saw, and I think the first time I heard the word nigga on a record was Big Daddy Kane, The Symphony. I didn't say that was the first time. I said that was the first time I heard. No, I'm lying. It was Run DMC. I think it was the second album. So that was like 84. So yeah, that's the first time. But my point is, up to that point, it wasn't until 1988, 89, when those gentlemen from the West Coast sold 2 million records with no airplay and referred to themselves as NWA, niggas with attitude. When that happened, the course and the direction of the game changed then. And a lot of people during that time put out a lot of music, ignorant music, just for the gratuitous use of saying they could, and built it up on artistic expression, just so they can curse and say nigga and bitch. That's it. I'm like, that's what it was. So I'm tired, man. I'm like, yo, I'm tired of everybody. Everybody was complicit in this R. Kelly thing. If you bought records and you kept buying records and you're still buying records today, then you don't care. I saw some Jada Pinkett. Jada Pinkett, you were supporting R. Kelly too. Because I heard stories about you as a lesbian back in the day, during the early 90s, before you met Will. You know what I'm saying? So you knew about R. Kelly too. So you're complicit. Everybody's complicit. Everybody supported R. Kelly. Everybody. Now, and everybody knew of his whole thing. And even, I don't even care if he got off. They said he was innocent of the tape. If you saw that tape, which by the way, if you saw that tape, it was child porn. If you watched it, I've never seen it. I don't ever want to see it. But if you saw that tape, even if that man walked, you clearly saw that it was his face, because him and his brother Carrie, whatever his brother Carrie, don't look alike. And the brother Bruce, neither one of the three brothers look alike. So if you saw that and you said, well, no, yeah, he did it. These parents are guilty. R. Kelly is guilty. Everybody that supported the music is guilty. But he's a genius, but he's a sick genius too, man. But that's because he never got help with the things that he went through in his childhood, and it's messed up. And unfortunately, but the one thing that Master P said was real. I'm not gonna do no TV show and allow that TV show to show me throwing rocks at a window because I think my daughter is in there, and me and my wife, we outside throwing rocks at the window, trying to find out or get somebody to come to the door to find out if my daughter is in the building. If I'm gonna be on camera, I'm gonna be on camera because I try to burn the place down or break it down or try to drive my car through the door or something. I'm like, I'm not gonna be depicted looking like a fool. I believe Sparkle. I wonder how much of. I believe she's sincere when she says she hate what went on with her niece. But Sparkle, you mean to tell me you didn't know about R. Kelly's history as you were recording Your first album? And is this really like I heard about him not wanting to do a turnaround and produce your second album as quickly? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I've heard that over the years too. I also heard, but the documentary showed otherwise. So you was right about that, but or you may have been. I don't know because they never said exactly who sent the tape to the Chicago Times, but it was alleged that you was the one who sent the tape to the Chicago Times. That's what I've heard over the years. That's what I've heard, and I heard that when I was interning at Arista. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, and so all these things, all these famous people as is just shocked and amazed and outraged now. You should have been shocked and amazed and outraged 1995 through 2001. If you weren't shocked and amazed and outraged during that time, then don't be shocked and amazed and outraged now. And that's really all I have to say about it. This your man D Call. Hit the subscribe and button, and subscribe and the follow button, and I would try to bring you more of my opinions. These are just my opinions. There's no need for to be disrespectful or nothing like that. It's just my thoughts. Just my thoughts. Because, like I said, everybody's guilty. And if any of you dudes, any of you people that's still watching that tape, you need to get rid of that tape. That thing from '01, because that's child porn. You need to get rid of it. And with that, I'm done. Peace.